Hi everyone, I'm here with 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗞 here. I am very excited
Yay.
to talk with Belle today because she's got a really inspiring story and I would love her to share with us. So hi Belle.
Hi, Angelica. How are you?
Yes, good, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time. I just
Thanks
wanted
for having
to,
me.
that's all right. I just wanted to start by asking, what cancer did you have and how old you were when you were diagnosed with cancer?
Okay, it was 2017, and
Okay,
so I was 51,
okay.
and I just turned 54. And so it was August 2017 when I got diagnosed. I was misdiagnosed actually, because I came back from London from a speaking gig, and I was at the airport. And you know how you go through the security, and the top that I was wearing had silver lining on it, so it was sending off the alarm, and so they had to pat me all the time. And when they were patting me on the chest, that's when I noticed that it was sore, and then I felt like there was a lump there. That was February. And then I went to my doctor, and he said he didn't touch it. He didn't like send me to get more tests. He just said it's red, so it must be what do you call it, infected. And so he gave me antibiotics. And
So did you
I
say
started,
the doctor didn't touch it? And
no,
because it was
no,
red, he just kind of
yeah,
said,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. And he said you should just get some antibiotics. And so I did. And but it didn't go away. It just kept getting a little bit sore when I lie down. And it wasn't until August that I actually went for it and thought, because I was like you, like many people, just so busy, and not looking after myself. And by August, I thought I better do something. And then that's when I got diagnosed.
And what else? Were you feeling anything else, or was it just the lump? Were you tired or?
No, no, not tired. And if anything, it wasn't really that sore. It's only when I had to lie down on my side. Well, I don't sleep on my back anyway. So when I was lying on my side, that's when I could kind of like feel it. It's on my right. It was on my right breast. Yeah.
So nothing else. You didn't have any other
Symptoms?
low white cell count or
No,
anemic or nothing else, just
no,
the lump.
no, no. That's just a lump. I've never had any uh, like sickness or anything like high blood pressure or anything like that. So because I was always exercising and try to maintain the weight that I should. Although at the time I was quite overweight, I think 6 kilos overweight than I am now. So yeah,
And was there any family history of
no,
cancer? No. Okay.
no, no,
So did you go back to the same doctor?
no, no. Of course not. Um, I can no offense, but I think sometimes male doctors and certain culture, even though they are doctors, have this feeling that maybe they shouldn't be touching women.
Mm.
That was the feeling that I got, that maybe because of his culture, and I'm a woman and we were alone, that yeah, he didn't want to touch it, even though he was a medical doctor. Yeah.
So then you found yourself another doctor.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't go to a lot of doctors anyway. Like, I'll be lucky if I go once a year. So I just went to like a medical center near
Right.
where I lived. Yeah. So it wasn't really my doctor because I don't have one. I never had to go to one. So I was never sick.
And when you went
Yeah.
what happened when you went to the doctor?
He, the doctor, she said, get it checked and get a mammogram, and so I did, and then they double checked it again, and by 1 o'clock or two, this was in the morning, by 2 o'clock, they had sent the result to this particular doctor, and she said, you have breast cancer. I said, right, okay.
So
Okay.
they didn't even do a biopsy. It was just through the mammogram they saw
No,
it.
just then. No, yeah, because it was a little bit bigger. I think it was 4 or 5 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
And
it was
then in the
an oncologist already that you saw that said you
no,
no, just
no, yeah, medical doctor, yeah. And then they sent me to Chris O'Brien Lifehouse and said you should make an appointment to see a breast surgeon now. And I said, why? And he said, because it has to come out. And I'm like, no, I'll just wait. I said, it's not sore. I seriously didn't take it seriously at all.
and
I
at
was
that point,
not
could they
worried.
tell you like what stage was it? Like, could they give you
Yeah,
like, oh, this
they
is the
said it
stage,
was,
the treatment?
they said it was stage 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So by that time, I did go and see the next week. I saw a breast surgeon, and then she explained it more. And then they did the biopsy. Yeah.
And then they confirmed that the best course of action was to have a mastectomy or a lumpectomy, or did they give you a choice?
They said that if I wanted to get a lumpectomy, I'd have to get a chemo. I have to do chemo. And I said there will be no chemo. No. And so I said, just get the fuck out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just get it out. Yeah. And then she said, do you want to keep? Oh, okay, we'll take it off then, which is the one breast. And I said, no, take both. What am I going to do with the other one?
Yeah.
And she said, are you sure? She said, you should think about it. And then I go, okay, I thought about it. Just take the 2. So, yeah. And you know what? I'm so glad that I made that decision, because no one actually tells you that if I had left the other breast, how inconvenient it is to dress yourself every day. Because I was massive. I was like big. I was taking double D bra. I was 14
Right.
double D, sometimes 16. I was massive. And so could you imagine if I had left that one breast and taken the other one, how inconvenient it is to keep stuffing something on the other side of the bra, right? And
Yeah.
imbalance. You're also imbalanced, because I was big. And so no one had told me those things. No one would have told me to say, okay, this is the effect of it if you did leave one, She
Yeah.
was just concerned to preserve the other breast. And I said, why? I don't see a reason. So I'm so glad that I had double mastectomy.
And then, so how was the surgery like? So it happened quite quickly as well after, you had a chat with the doctor and they told you that, and you made a decision to have a mastectomy done. Was it quite quickly?
Yeah, they did. They wanted me to go the next week. And I said, no. I said, I'll wait for 3 weeks. I'll read about it. I'll see what I can do for my body. I mean, you're pushing me. They were just pushing you to chemo, radiation, tamoxifen, mastectomy first, that the whole rigmarole of the medical world, right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to pause. And by this time, I've read a lot about juicing, about just helping your body to not be acidic, all the things that we know now about, reversing breast cancer, and just things like that. I just wanted to do something for my body that I feel that I have control of, not eating meat, eating more cruciferous vegetables, supplements, everything, juicing. So I wanted to do all that, and my doctor was like, my oncologist, and she was very patient with me, she kind of and I said, well, am I gonna die in the next 3 weeks if I don't have it? And she said no. I said, well, okay, we'll wait then. So
but they just wanted to kind of book a date, right? They just wanted to say, you've got to have it in 3 weeks. Let's book a date right now. And then all of a sudden,
then they wanted to book a date the week after that I saw her. And I said, no, let's wait 3 weeks. And she goes, why? I said, yeah, because I just want to read about it and know about what it's doing in my body, what I can do,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And did they give you any reason why you had cancer? Because obviously it wasn't genetic.
No, that I don't think any medical doctors know why you get it. You just get it, as if it's unlucky. But I know now why I got it. After doing a lot of research about it, I do know why I got breast cancer, and that is the kind of because of the lifestyle that I led. I wasn't eating enough greens. I was very high in protein because I was exercising and I didn't want to put on more weight. Um, I did not see any sun. I I
Wow.
drove I drove to work at 6 a.m. and come home at 6 p.m. It was always dark and yeah, no vitamin D whatsoever. Yeah, I didn't eat much green veggies. Yeah, I just knew then that the my body was getting sick, telling me it was getting sick, and such as the cancer did come eventually and appeared itself, and yeah.
So would you say that mostly like your once you started finding your own reasons, it would for you was the lifestyle that you were leading and the diet and
Yeah, and I was living a very stressful life. I was not looking after myself at all. The fact that I was working 12-hour days and I wasn't eating the right food, I wasn't meditating or just taking or stopping,
yeah.
yeah,
So do you think the stress would also contributed to the
for
cancer?
sure. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Totally. I think so. Yeah.
So then what happened? So in August you went to the doctor and and from memory what you've said, and then when did you have the mastectomy?
3 weeks after I saw the oncologist.
And and then you took 6 weeks to recover from that, or
No, I was in hospital for 4 or 5 days, and then I went to work the week after, and I still
wow,
had tubes on my chest. I still had tubes, and I put it under my jacket and stuff.
wow,
Yeah.
incredible. Had you already started like the on your own healing journey as well, like with the juicing and the diet? Had you already started all the changes?
Yes, I've started changing my diet immediately after. Like I didn't eat any hospital food. I got Uber and I got everything organic or
Yeah,
juice and stuff like that, or anything cruciferous
yeah,
vegetables. I got Uber Eats, and so I started changing my diet radically after that. But I also knew that I had to have a right mindset about this operation. I knew that it was just an operation, that the cancer had been taken out. So, I was well enough to work. Maybe not allowed to drive, but
yeah,
but I took my time in terms of slowing down at work. Everyone was happy to see me and support and whatever. But I just also needed to get out of the house. I didn't want to be lying down
yeah,
overthinking things. Yeah. And I felt like by going to work, I felt like I was still contributing and that I was not sick.
yeah,
And that really helped my mindset. I wasn't moody or, because I
yeah.
had things to do.
And
Yeah.
after you went back to work and you had a mastectomy, did the doctors they probably told you that you needed to choose some sort of treatment, or were they
Oh,
putting
totally.
pressure on you
Yeah.
on you to do
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah. So, sorry. Basically, they said you have to get chemo straight away after now that you're well. Uh, I said, I don't want to. I don't want to do chemo. It was about, but the pressure from I wrote it down in my journal, and I said that the pressure from my husband, my children, my friends, and it feels as if that they were pressuring me to do chemo because of their own fear, not
Yeah,
because of what I want. And so I said yes. I said, okay, I'll do it. But if I don't freaking like it, I'm not going to keep continuing.
Yeah.
So I said yes. And then my first chemo, my liver flared up. You know how liver counts? It has to be
Yeah,
certain
yeah. They always
amount.
check your
Yeah.
enzymes and
Yeah. And I don't know what the liver count should be, but mine went up to like 300 or something, and it's massive or something like that. And so they had to wait. They had to wait. You know how it's supposed to be every 3 weeks that
Yeah.
mine was anyway. So they had to wait for another 6 weeks, and then they checked my liver again, and it's still stuffed. And so they waited again. So then they did the chemo, and then it flared up again. By this time, it was 2nd of February, 2018. And I said, look, I'm turning 52 tomorrow. I said, I've given this a go and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's either my liver or chemo. And I said, no. So they said.
And how did you feel? Like, were you, because obviously, you know, the liver, were you very tired or
No.
sick or?
No, I was not tired. I was not sick. After chemo, I'd go back to work. So I
Wow.
never really got sick from chemo. I lost my hair, so I just shaved it. When the metallic taste comes into your mouth, I just suck lolly all day, all night, and that's how I coped. But I was not sick.
Not sick.
I didn't feel any, no.
And how was losing the hair? Was it a problem for you or?
Yeah, how about you? Did you feel like losing your hair was the worst than the chemo? Or?
Yeah, well, the first question I asked to my oncologist was, am I going to lose my hair? Because with bowel cancer, you don't necessarily lose your hair. And he kind of said to me, your hair might thin a bit, but you might not lose it all. But I lost more than most, and I had kind of patches.
Yes. Did you?
And
okay.
Yeah, so, you know, I did go through probably 2 months there, you know, I would do it like that, and, you know, clumps of hair would come out in my head. And after 2 months, I kind of felt pathetic to be holding on to this little bit of hair that was not even, you know, I couldn't even go out without beanie. And I kind of thought, you know what, I'm just going to shave it. And then, but, you know, I had 2 months to get used to the idea.
Same, yeah.
You know, like I think sometimes, you know, breast cancer, you know, you get your first hit of chemo and then, you know, your hair fall out completely. But mine one was very, very gradual. So I was I was ready because, you know, 2 months, you know, of like putting up with hair everywhere and I would have a shower on this hair. And it got to the point that it was just like more inconvenient than the worry of not having a hair. And once I shaved it, I kind of felt it was a liberating experience. I kind of felt, you know, this is it, you know, this is me now, you know, for a while. And it wasn't too hard.
Well, when I found out I had cancer, my hair was nearly up to my waist.
Wow.
Yeah. So I started cutting it slowly and slowly and slowly. And then by the time I nearly had to do chemo, I just shaved it.
Yeah.
And then my husband shaved his head as well. So they were both bald. So yeah, very supportive. So yeah, I started losing my hair in front of just falling on the computer, and I could see this like it's so depressing. Yeah. So, but because I had like full set of hair, like, you know, flowing black hair, and I just slowly cut it until it was almost, you know, nothing, and pixie, and then and then I just shaved it.
And by the time you shaved it, were you bothered about it, or were you kind of already, you know, that's it, or, you know, coming to terms with it, or?
Yeah, I think losing my hair was the hardest part of it. And also one day I was walking down the beach where we live at Brighton, the Sands, and I was wearing a tank top, a singlet, and it was so flat because I remember buying this tank top and I was just voluptuous. You know, I thought I looked really sexy when I bought this tank top, and all of a sudden it's flat. And I was like, it's flat and I have no hair. And I was like, okay, this is not the worst day of my life. And I posted in Facebook and said, how many people think I'm a boy, you know? So because I'm so flat. So now I don't care. I love it because I don't have to wear a bra, you know.
Yeah.
If I don't want to, you know.
Yeah, I remember going to parks, and because I had a PICC line, so I had always like a cover to my PICC line.
Yeah.
And here in Brisbane it's mostly hot, so I'll be in a park, take my beanie off, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, why are people looking at me? And you're like, of course you're looking at me. I am bold, plus I've got the thing on my arm, so they're looking at me because I'm sick, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think I got, it felt worse for me because the kids were looking at me and pointing. Yeah, so I kind of like, that's when I felt, I was like, oh. So anyway, I got over it the day after.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And has your hair grown back differently, or?
It did. It was curly.
Yeah, my one is curly too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looked really weird. And then when it was those little curls in your hair, like it's really tight kind of thing. Anyway, I was on the train one day, and this lady comes up to me and said, "Where did you get your hair permed? My God, it looks so good." I love it when she didn't know anything. And I said, it just came out like this. I said, oh, wow, you're so blessed to have been born with hair like that. I said, it just came back. I said, I just had chemo.
Oh.
Sorry. So, but she was lovely. Really, like old lady, how you perm their hair. And yeah. So she thought that, because she had perfect wave as well, so yeah, it was funny.
And so after that, so the second chemotherapy, you decided not to have any more. How many were you supposed to have?
A lot, like for 18 months.
Wow, every 3 weeks for 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And then on top of, and then at the end, you need to take the tamoxifen for 5 years, right?
Yeah, stop that. Yeah.
Wow.
I never had those.
So when you told them, that's it, I'm not doing it, what did they say?
Yeah, they had to send me to a psychologist just to make sure that I.
They thought you were crazy.
Death wish. Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
They told you had to go to a psychologist
to make sure that I didn't have a death wish. Yeah.
Wow.
That because of cancer I wanted to die, and I said to her, no, it's because I wanted to leave. That's why I didn't want to do chemo.
Wow.
I said, I know what chemo does for you. Yeah, but you have more chances. You're reducing your chances in leaving if you didn't do chemo, right? And I'm like, I'll take my chances. You're just buying me time. You're not making me better. And during those time, my lifestyle is gonna be affected. I'd rather choose a good lifestyle and live short than live long, and I just couldn't get comprehended in my mind at all. Plus I wasn't scared anyway. Like, I'm a person of faith, and so death to me was not an issue, but to them it felt like they said, you have a death wish, blah blah blah. And I say, look, I have no sense of fear with death. Not that I have a death wish. I said, I don't. It's just that I just don't like what chemo does for your body. You're killing all the good cells as well as the bad cells, just in case there is any more lurking in my body. Well, I don't like that probability. I don't like it. I said, just in case there's any more lying around, you're going to kill all my other cells. But this time you're killing my nails, my hair, and all the other good nutritious things inside my body. Just to buy me time. And I said, can you guarantee that I will not get it again even after I had chemo? Oh, of course not. We can't guarantee anything.
No.
So I said, well, what's the point then? So I didn't do it.
What about your husband and your kids? How did they feel about that?
By this time they already know. Mom will just do whatever she wants, and if this is what she wants, this is what she wants. And I said to them, look, this is my body, I have control over it, you don't. Yeah, and they were very respectful of that after that.
That's good. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in regards to, and so that was, so 2018 February, right, when you had your last chemo, and then did you keep having, after, you know, going to the psychologist and they kind of accepted that you're not going to have chemo anymore? Did they keep it checking you every 3 months for blood?
Yeah, every 3 months. Every 3 months. No blood, just touch. There's not even any blood test.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about any mammograms and things like that? Or
no
mammograms?
No.
Right. And was there a choice of yours? I mean, I'm not sure because
No.
They just said we'll just check you.
Yeah, because I said, how do you know then? Just by touching me, you know? And they said it's not really. I mean, a blood test is not even the best marker. She only asked me all the time, how you feeling? I said fine, and so that was my concern as well. I thought, you're not doing, are you doing enough to look if there was any more cancer, you know? No, I did ask a lot, like, should I get a blood test now because it's been 9 months, you know? No. So they were not really, they were not doing.
Well, I think a blood test can show things like inflammation markers. You know, the CA, which is the tumor marker, it's not something they can rely on, that's for sure, because by the time it goes up, like, it could be too late. But there is definitely like inflammation markers. There is things like, you know, like if you are low in some vitamins, in iron, and that could all be, you know, a good indication that your body's not working properly, right? So I think a blood test has definitely got its place after you have had.
Yeah. I think I've had one blood test to just check for some vitamin D.
Yeah, exactly.
Checking. Yeah, and that was it. And I've, you know, it's been 3 years. I haven't done anything. I did have tried to get a reconstruction done in between this time because the doctor offered it to me.
Yeah.
And she said, would you like to get a reconstruction done? And I never thought about it until they offered it to me. And then I said, how does it work? And so I did. And then I didn't like it at all. It was very, very painful. They were stretching my muscle. I don't know whether you know how the process, but they put this thing between your muscle. And
also, were they taking from your belly?
No. They put a kind of an implant between your muscles, and then they pump it, or they put more water in it, and that's how they stretch your muscles. And it's the agony of it. It's like 24/7, and I thought, nah, this is not for me. I'm not gonna suffer.
Also, this is before the actual surgery. They do that.
Because I didn't have any flaps or anything big enough for an implant to go in. So you had to stretch the muscles on my chest. And the way they do that is they put implant between your muscles, and then they pump water in it every 3 weeks. And oh my God, it was so painful. And I couldn't take it anymore. And
so that was because you didn't have, sorry, say that again. So you didn't have,
I didn't have anything for them to work with to put the implants in. So they had to stretch a muscle. Yeah.
Wow.
It was so sore. And so I said, look, I'm 54, I'm 53. I said, I don't really need breast. I've had children, you know, I'm not breastfeeding, and, you know, I'm old enough, and I can just wear a bra with padding. So they took it out, and oh my God, relief. And I was even gonna do, sorry.
Yeah, go on, say that.
I was gonna do the New York Marathon with some friends, but because I opted to get this reconstruction done, I couldn't go because I was in so much pain, and I wasn't allowed to travel because they had to pump it every 3 weeks. And so that inhibited my lifestyle totally. And so I said, no more operation for me. And when I said that, one of the intern doctors, he said, oh, I'm glad you did, because in 15 years time we'll have to take it out anyway because they don't last. And I thought, nobody told me that.
Oh my
I said,
God.
plus if your body rejects it, you have
It's
to
a
get
big
another
problem.
operation. Yeah. And I said, they didn't explain that to me. I'm so glad I didn't have it done. I know that it's,
So
you
after
know,
that, so you haven't had any more problems then with with anything like any other lumps or anything like that.
no, not really, no.
And you, from when you started changing your diet, since then, how's your life like now? Like, whoa, like diet-wise, lifestyle, what did you really change?
Uh, I became really interested in eating whole foods, I guess.
Yeah.
I still eat meat. I cheat on Sundays sometimes. But mainly during the week I'm vegan.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I just chose to. But when I went to Italy, I went to Italy like 3 weeks ago. I'm glad that we got out of there.
Oh,
So
I know.
yeah, I know, right? So I did eat pasta. I had salads and pasta and stuff like that. I didn't really have pizza, but yeah. So not strict, but I just know the balance of it. I just know that by doing something good every 14 days and then one day I probably cheat, then I know I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
That's how I lived it, and I exercise every day
Awesome.
still.
What kind of
Yeah,
exercise do you do?
I do Zumba.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for the body, good for the soul, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like dancing, so
Awesome.
to me it doesn't feel like exercise. And yeah, and I
Exactly.
just do a little bit of weights. Yeah.
And in around the stress, did you change much around that?
Um, yeah, I did. I had to. I knew that the part of the big reason of getting cancer was because I was living a very stressful life. I wasn't balanced at all. Like I work a lot, and now I just I about work 2, 3, or 4 hours a day, and then I go to the beach or something, and or do
Yeah.
something, or make myself watch Netflix for 2 hours. I mean, before I would get really guilty sitting down watching
Mm,
an hour or two of Netflix. So I think sugar, I could do more work.
yeah.
So yeah,
And
yeah.
so looking back, what do you think was the hardest thing on your journey?
The hardest thing was, I think, my kids, my family, to make them feel that it's gonna be okay, and yet, like when I told you the story about chemo, that I only did the chemo because I felt pressured by them and their
Yeah.
fears, when I had no sense of fear, you know, and to be able to relate that to them and make them feel mommy is not being stupid about this, mommy wants to be well, and I don't want all this poison in my body.
Mm,
And I get a lot of flack about that on social media, because they feel that I'm making a mockery of medicine,
and
chemo.
are you talking about like your extended family or friends
Oh
or?
no, oh no, just social media. When I say, like, I've never done chemo, tamoxifen, and
Mm,
radiation, and I ski all the time. I just dance. I just do whatever. And then they say, oh, you're mocking chemotherapy, you shouldn't do that. It saved a lot of people. I know people who did juicing and all that and still died. It's like, that's their problem, not mine. I'm just telling my journey as well. You're saying your journey and how awful chemo is in your body and how depressed you are. So I'm just telling my story as well. That's your journey. If you have a problem with me not taking chemo, then that's your problem.
yeah.
So
It takes
yeah.
courage, isn't it, to go against the masses because obviously,
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm a member of a support group on breast cancer. And when I said that this is my journey, I'm saying this is just my journey. You don't have to do this own protocol. I'm just saying that I'm 3 years cancer free. I've never done chemo, tamoxifen, or radiation. Just changed my lifestyle and take a lot of supplements. And I just thank God that I'm still here, you know, healthy and strong. And comments, oh my God, it's like, oh yeah, but you know, you shouldn't mock this, and you should be more compassionate with people who are doing chemo. And I didn't say I wasn't compassionate. I'm just telling you my story.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I'm not saying don't do chemo. I'm saying this is what happened to me. I didn't like it. So
yeah, each person has their own choice, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But to also give people an awareness that they have control. That they
And they have options, you know, like, because,
they have
you know, as you
options.
probably experienced, and I did too, as soon as you get told you've got cancer, you were put on this conveyor belt, you know,
Correct.
surgery,
Yeah.
chemo, radiation, whatever. And
Yeah.
you feel like that said that is the only way
Yes.
that I cannot go anywhere else. I
Yeah.
can't do anything else.
Yeah. And it makes me feel really sad. Really, really sad. And when I say, do you feel like you have no option? And she said, no, I don't have an option. I trust my oncologist. I'm like, I trust my oncologist too, but I question everything she asks. She tells me. Why can't I
Yeah.
question it? You know?
Yeah.
And she and I say, okay, is there a better way? Do you think when she said, "I'll do chemo," and then this is the amount of chemo you're gonna take in your body. And okay, is there another alternative of that type of chemo? Oh yeah, there is. Were you gonna tell me if I hadn't asked?
Yeah.
You know, I question everything.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely taking charge, right, of your health. Yeah.
yeah,
I remember at about half time, I was supposed to have 12 sessions, and at halfway after 6 sessions, I had lots of delays because of low white cells, and and I asked my oncologist, okay, now tell me the truth. How many people can actually have this every 2 weeks? Because there is no way on earth people can have this chemo every 2 weeks without. And he was like, yeah, maybe a little less than half.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did you do?
And then at the end of the treatment, I had the 12 sessions. One of the nurses who looked after me, he told me, I've been working in oncology for 8 years, and I have only seen 4 people completing this chemo that you have.
Wow. You're so tough.
But they don't tell you, like I said, they will never tell you. No, they won't tell you that. So I think asking questions is so important. Because, you know, doctors, they don't want to be asked questions. They don't like being asked.
They don't like it. No. That's why they don't like me. They don't like me at all.
I know the
feeling.
They
have to see me.
Yeah.
They have to see me.
So do you still see your oncologist?
Yeah. The first oncologist they gave me, she was rude. She just kept saying, if I even had quarter of the cancer that you have, I'd be doing chemo. And you have this large mass of cancer, and you're not doing chemo. What are you thinking? She was like giving it to me, and I said, look, once you get cancer, you do what you want. I said, but I don't want to do it. Okay, so let me think about it at least. And then she shut the book and say, well, you know, I cannot look after you. I said, fine. So I went to someone else, and she was more, compassionate. And I asked a lot of questions, and before the treatments or any treatments that she wanted me to go. And then they still do ask. I said, are you going to be taking tamoxifen? I said, do I look like I need it?
And what do they say to that?
She goes, yeah, I know. Well, you might need it. Okay, okay, fine. When I need it, I'll take it. But I don't need
Oh,
it.
so they are the ones
They
that
really ain't me.
the oncologists are the ones that are like still keep an eye on you, like with just
Oh
like
yeah,
the kind of um
I
kind
saw
of the
her 2 days
touching
ago.
kind of to see if there's any lumps or anything else and
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Look, I'm not saying that I'm being stupid about it. Like I had pains before I left for Italy, and it didn't go away even I came back, and it'd been 4 weeks. So I thought I better check because it could be bone cancer because they say it gets
Was
worse
it
at
pains
night.
on your
Blah blah blah.
bone?
Bone on my bone.
In
Yeah,
a
on my
particular bone or just
yeah
everywhere?
on my shoulder. No,
Oh
just on
yeah.
my shoulder. So anyway, she said, "Oh, you're back from Italy. You had some pains yet? I think it's muscle," she said. Okay, cool, but might as well check, she said. Okay, that's fine with me. That's why I came here, I said. So I had a bone scan and a CT scan. And so I saw her the other day, and she said, "You are so perfectly healthy. What are you doing here? And the pains you're getting are probably from your exercise and your skiing." Because I fell a lot as well
Yeah.
on my skiing. And yeah, it was. She said, you just go and you just go and see a physio." She said, "There's nothing wrong with you. I'll see you in 3 months," I said to her. She said, "I'll make it 6."
Oh wow.
So yeah.
And have you been able to find any positives on your journey?
Oh yeah, totally. The positive of it is that it's given me a purpose to help other women to not get cancer, especially breast cancer, because really you can not get it. It's
Mm.
possible for you not to get it if you really look after yourself. People just think I got cancer because I got unlucky. Really, I think what is it? Is it 6% or 4% is not really the rest of it
5%
is
genetic, yeah, 5% is ridiculous. Yeah,
yeah,
very small
5%.
percentage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, what was your
very
type of
small.
it? Was it stage 2? Was it hormone?
Yeah, it's hormone. Yeah, HER2 positive estrogen.
Okay.
Yeah. People asking me, "What's your son?" I said, "Look, I really don't know. I just wanted to get this stupid thing out." I said, and then they said, "Do chemo." I said, "Why?" And it's out already. So yeah, I wasn't really concentrating on what type of cancer I had. I just wanted to get it out.
But is the hormonal positive? Is
Yeah,
a
it's
hormonal? Yeah.
hormonal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
hormonal.
Yeah.
So that's why everything on my diet is helping to stop estrogen and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and reversing it and taking other supplements.
So the positives that you mentioned needs to give it,
Oh,
it has
sorry.
given you a purpose.
It's given me a lot of purpose to help other women to look after themselves and and to be aware also that even before they get it, if they get it, to not be scared and to have a voice and
Yeah.
to question things and to research and to do what is good for their own body, not just because what the doctor says it.
Mm.
You know, I'm not anti-medical team. I'm not. I see people. I see my oncologist. I see my breast surgeon. But that's because I am looking after my body, not
Mm.
because I'm sick. And I'm looking after my body. Then I have to see professionals who could help me with that, with my blood test, with my bone scans and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have a team of people who look after me, and they are in the medical world, yes, but I'm not against medical people. I'm just against the things that people say that is their only option, and I don't want that for them because it isn't the only option, as you know, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
And if you were, I mean, actually, before I ask you the last question, what does your life look like now in comparison to obviously before cancer?
My life right now, more focused, I think. More focused on the more important things as well. Yeah, I'm very focused on what I eat. I'm very focused on what I think about and the
Yeah.
negativities or that kind of thing. Yeah, and to not let other people get to me in that sense, especially in the social media world where, you know, I really, really only wanted to help women to have a voice and to not be afraid, because I know what it's like. You know what it's like to be afraid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so, and because of that, I'm getting attacked because of what I've experienced, you know? And,
Yeah.
and to just really focus and say, okay, I must be on the right track, because if I'm not helping enough people, I'm not getting all these attacks. But if I am helping enough people, a lot of people will attack me as well because of my
Yeah.
faith. But that's fine. You know, that's their journey. They're the one who have an issue with me. I don't have an issue with them. All I want is for women to have a voice for themselves and to not be afraid.
Yeah. So if you were to tell something to somebody today who's been diagnosed with the same cancer as you, they you know, breast cancer, the ER, the ER1, right, or ER2, and the hormonal cancer, what would you say to this person?
To immediately change their diet. I would say, yeah, to clean their system, to calibrate it very quickly, and you know, no matter what everyone else says, just do it for yourself. You know, do it for yourself to calibrate your system. And our body is amazing. It actually, you know, I think I heard a doctor say that every 3 months like our liver, it actually reset itself. And yeah, I heard that from a doctor, and I thought, wow, that's very interesting. So if a person is taking a lot of hormonal food that increases their hormone or estrogen, for example, because of their weight, because of the wrong food that they eat, then yeah, I would say, please, for your own sake, for your own healthiness, change some stuff and start introducing things that would help your blood, you know, in your system.
Yeah.
I was coaching a few women a while ago as part of my business, and some of them were really, really unhealthy. And so I said, look, stop taking dairy, don't eat meat, don't eat anything for now, for 2 weeks, and just juice. And they had this really bad eczema, and they couldn't go to school or where they were teaching because they couldn't write on the blackboard. You know, they couldn't even hold the chalk. You know, and I said, just calibrate your body and start juicing, and she did. And there was about 3 of them women. They were quite overweight. And yeah, after that, the eczema left. You know, one lady, she could hardly walk, and she was on all this medication as well. So yeah, to be able to help women like that, and to say, look, you have the power to change things. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to be a victim of this, and
No.
it's not because of, yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
I think
yeah.
that's a very important message. You don't have to be a victim, right?
Yeah, no, you're not a victim at all. And I guess that's how I see myself. It's not, no, I had breast cancer, but breast cancer doesn't have me. You know, I don't, it doesn't have power over me. I don't even give it time, you know. Yeah,
Awesome.
and yet some other women find their identity, I guess, sometimes in their problems. And they say they have breast cancer, which means I have cancer. No, you had breast cancer. That's it. You know, it's not you. You're not the cancer, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's sad. It's really sad.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Belle, for your
Ah,
time.
thank
It's been
you.
really
Thank
valuable.
you.
It's really brave of you to have gone completely against the, you know, conventional medicine. I wasn't brave enough to do that, and my kids were little. They're 6 and 4, and I must admit that I
Oh,
just gave in for the
yeah,
fear and
you do what you had to do, right?
yeah, and it was
Yeah,
but, you know,
yeah.
knowing what I know now, would I have done it? I'm not sure. You
With
know, I
you?
would always, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I
But how long?
understand. I think what I would consider myself is somebody who's done both. So I changed everything in my life during the course of the chemotherapy. So in actual fact, the chemotherapy allowed me to, because I didn't go to work, I stayed at home. It allowed me to really focus on myself, on my health, and walk back to myself again. If I hadn't had that time, I wouldn't have been able to do that because I would have gone back to work
Yeah.
and, you know, and have gone back to, you know, being on that treadmill again. But because I was forced to be at home and by myself because I couldn't go out because I was getting sick all the time, it allowed
Yeah.
me to really focus on my health and really
Yeah.
invest on myself again and getting to know myself again, which was a beautiful experience. But yeah, I think it was definitely very brave of you to have done what you've done, and you know you look awesome, great skin, great hair.
Thanks. Thanks.
So whatever you're doing, it's
Yeah, I
definitely
just
working
keep
for
doing.
you. Exactly,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, and I
Oh,
hope
thank you.
you
And I
inspire.
just
You
want
know,
I just want to say that if anyone wants to connect with me on Facebook, it's just Bell Hackett. And you know, if you ask any question, that's fine. Yeah.
awesome, perfect.
Oh,
Thank you so
great.
much for your
Thank
time,
you.
Val. Take care.
Thank
I'll
you.
see
You
you.
have a good weekend.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.